Dan, we have a guest in studio wants to ask you a question.
Dapper, what's up, bud? So I hear you guys talking, and, Calvin, a great man, as we know. I've known his wife for a long time, being a part of the Lions. And, these young guys come in, they play. Barry Sanders there. He can't change DeAndre Swift. It's good to have Calvin back around the team just because he deserves it. But I'm not sure that an ex-player makes a new player turn who they are or how they were raised or how they act. But it is glad to have him back in the building. I want to ask you a question more about the defensive side of the ball, especially the D-line and our linebackers. Both very young groups, unproven, but a lot of hopefully upside. Tell me how you think we're going to get after the quarterback and stop the run this year. We went after and brought in a lot of free agents as DBs, but how do you feel our D-line and linebackers are going to be able to hold up this year to make the Lions a playoff contender and a 10-11 win team?
And let me say one thing about your initial point, Chad, and that's this. If you're a young player that is willing to listen to guys that have done it at the high level in this league, that only bodes well for you. You're right, you can't make them, but if you understand that you can listen to a Calvin Johnson, or you can listen to a Barry Sanders, or you can listen to a Herman Moore, or somebody that's done it at a high level and can help you understand what it takes to be successful in this league, that's only a positive for you. And if you don't want to do that, well, that's on you, because you've got a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge there that these guys can impart to you on what it takes and kind of sacrifices you have to make to be great in this league. So you're right, you can't make them, but I think if the smart ones will look up and say, help me, teach me, let me learn some things. I know I've got the ability, but there's intangibles in this league that can play a big part in that. Look, I think if you look at this defensive line right now, there's some questions, in particular with some guys that were injured last year. Is Onwuzurike going to make any sort of impact at all? Will he be able to play this year? Haskell was hurt for a lot of last year. He's a second-round draft pick. They think he can be an interior guy that can help him. Malik McNeil has done a lot of work this offseason changing his body. He's going to look like a different guy out there. How does that impact his performance? The middle of the defensive line is the biggest question that this team has.